Hey everybody, Dave Z, eXp Realty, Z team. Wanted to just give you a few updates on where the market is at. We're getting mixed questions and mixed results on the market. And we're still getting people saying, hey, isn't the market going to crash? Is it going to keep going down because of what's going on with COVID-19 and the economy? Yet it's still not happening. So wanted to just give you a little bit more data to look at. So let's look on a national scale. I'm about to release this article here about home prices, and it is all about supply and demand. I think we all can understand that in most anything in the economy is supply and demand. And it was funny, I had a friend over last night, and we were talking about this, very successful person, and said, geez, don't you think prices might be bad? We were talking about real estate investing, and over a cigar and some bourbon, shouldn't we maybe not invest right now because of the market? Well, let's talk about that. What do you mean by that? So when we lived through the '08 crash, we did together. So that was fresh on our minds. We did it. And there's a lot of people that's still fresh on their minds as we've already had an economic collapse 12 years ago. Could we have that again? So I wanted to put this out there and just look at supply. And this is a national level. So when that foreclosure crisis hit, we had a gluttony of homes that we don't have today. So a housing, months of inventory, and what that means is how many months would it take at the sales rate to get rid of all that inventory? So if buyers keep buying like they do, and homes keep coming on like they do, they'd be gone in 4 months. Well, it was 8.5 months when we were in the middle of the foreclosure crisis. And we had a big run up of inventory in '06, '07, huge supply. In Arizona, we had 55,000 plus homes for sale. Right now, we have less than 17,000. So we don't have the same landscape that we did back then. But as the economy recovers, housing is going to play a big role. And here is just some home price projections from some of the big organizations for 2020. The Mortgage Bankers Association says they expect a 4% increase nationally. Zelman Associates, 3%. Fannie Mae, they're pretty conservative, and so are Freddie Mac, at 0.4 for both of them. National Association of Realtors, 3.8. The general consensus is that home prices are going to keep going up because the supply is so constricted and the demand is still high. We do expect to see that. So I'm not telling you what to do. I don't recommend buying or selling as a general rule. I'm not a realtor that says now's a great time to buy. But when people say, well, isn't the market going to crash? I just think let's go ahead and look at that data. So that's where we're at on a national scene. I want to bring in where we're at in Arizona so we can get a better understanding of where that is. If we look here, let's expand this a little bit. The Crawford Report Market Index. So I've talked about that before. Just to give you a baseline, this number is used to quantify supply and demand. A line of 100 puts us at a very balanced market between buyers and sellers. There's no clear advantage. Both parties are equally afraid that one might walk away from the other, and there's choices. Anything north of 100 is going to favor the seller. Well, before COVID hit, we were at 240, highest I've ever seen since we've been tracking, and it was very unsustainable. We had buyers that just couldn't get homes. So it dropped like a roller coaster during COVID, and we thought, well, maybe we'll get back to a balanced market. Well, you can see it has rebounded. It got down, didn't even hit 140. We've rebounded back to 160, and still a clear advantage for sellers. Way too much inventory, or way too little inventory, way too many buyers. So we've seen that recovery. Let's get into some more observations here. So this just gives you some historical perspective. The brown line is 2020. The green line is 2019. So you can see buyers were having such a hard time at the beginning of the year to try to get under contract. Dipped back to where we were in 2019. Nobody in Arizona talked about a housing crisis or a crash because there was just no reason to talk about that. We are back up tracking with where we were a year ago, and it's still too high. I would personally like to see it come down to that 100 mark to where it's more balanced. So to get prices to fall, we typically need to be in that 90, 80 range. where buyers have a clear advantage. And we just don't see that happening anytime soon. So if you got any other questions on the market, I'm happy to go through some of these with you on a one-on-one or anything going on in your neighborhood. But hopefully this brings some perspective that if you are still looking at real estate, why the landscape is there to continue to support price appreciation and not depreciation. All right, have a great day. If you want to reach out to me, Dave at ztmaz.com, or respond to this video. Have a great day.